Hey everyone, Joe here. Welcome back to the Mixing a Rock Song from Start to Finish video series. We're on part 6 today, which is going to be focused on automation. If you missed any of the other parts, the links are in the description below for you to catch up. We've gone through balancing the levels, setting up the door. We've mixed the drums, the bass, the guitars and the vocals. Everything's sounding pretty good right now. All there is left to do is get some automation in there to get things a bit more dynamic and a bit more balanced across different parts of the mix. We're also going to be looking at the mix bus today, see if there's anything that we can do across the entire mix that will help it out. And then in the final part, we're going to be just going over some finishing touches and finalizing the mix. Now, if you watch the first part, you'll know that I sent the vocal bus, the guitar bus, the bass, the drums, everything in the song is all going through the mix bus. Now, at the moment, there's nothing on the mix bus, so it's not really doing anything at all. What I like to do is get a little bit of compression on the mix bus, so it's just compressing the whole mix a little bit. It helps glue it together. Sometimes use a little bit of EQ, but we're going to take a look at that now, and it'll also give us a nice opportunity to just listen to what we've got so far in the mix before we start moving things around with automation. So let's have a listen. And I'm just going to stick the stop channel strip on there and get a little bit of subtle compression across the whole mix. Can you feel me? Hey, you there? Can you hear me? 'Cause I'm mine, locked in a cage. Okay, I think that's all we need on there for now. We can always revisit it as we carry on with the mix. But today our main focus is automation. So if you don't know what automation is, it's something that pretty much any good DAW can do. It allows you to adjust levels of things and settings, various parameters of plugins as the song continues. So for example, I could bring the level up or change the panning of this one section, and as the song moves on, it will automatically change the panning setting based on what I've set the automation as. So let's just undo what we did there. The first thing that I want to do, I mentioned this in the last part about the vocals, I want to bring the delay down a little bit for the verse because it sounds really great in the chorus. It fills out those gaps. But then in the verse, where we've got more dense phrases, it gets a bit overpowering. Locked in a cage, nothing, I don't feel right. So if we open up the vocal automation lane and switch it to this bus, the level, that's the digital delay, highlight the verse and just bring it down a little bit. Let's see what that sounds like. Hey, you there? We still want it there a little bit. Can you see me? Hey, you there? A little bit more. Can you hear me? 'Cause I'm mine, locked in a cage, oh, for nothing. In a jar. It also gives a nice contrast with the chorus when that comes in. What's that on? Minus 18.5 dB. So we're going to match that on the other choruses as well. This little section of vocals here I might leave with more of the delay in there, just because it's a bit more cut back. Yeah, sounds cool. Okay, and don't need to do anything with backing vocals on that. The other thing that I mentioned last time when we were mixing the vocals is that it might be nice if we can widen the vocals up a bit where we've got that double up, those doubled vocals. So we could just pan the backing vocals to the right 20, and then just on the choruses we're going to automate a panning change there, so you'll hear it widen out as it gets into the chorus. Just a brain in a jar. Yeah. Brain in a jar. There we go. Just opens it out. Sounds a lot bigger for the chorus, for the hook to draw people in. And then again, chorus 2 and chorus 3. I also want to do a similar thing to the rhythm guitars. Now this technique I tend to use on a lot of songs, to be honest, where when it reaches the chorus we're just going to open out those two guitars. They're very wide at the moment. I've got them panned as wide as they can possibly go. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring those in to say 50-50. And then just for the choruses, I'm going to have them widen out a bit. Let me just find where that first chord is. Where is it? There we go. And where's the end? Around there. And then again for chorus 2. Okay, so I've cut all those up just to make it easier to make the panning changes on the automation lane. So for chorus 1, we can say, let's go 75 and then 75 the other way. Let's see what that sounds like when it widens out for the choruses. Yeah, that's cool. And we do the same thing with chorus 2. And then for the final chorus, I might widen out even more. Just where it really starts getting more energetic and just to lift it at the end a bit. And then what's happening at the end? We've got another solo. Okay, now the intro, that guitar's on its own, so 50 to the left might be a bit too harsh on the ears. Let's have a listen. Yeah, when that guitar's on its own, I'm actually going to bring that in a little bit to say 30. Yeah, it's a bit nicer to listen to. And then at the end, we can bring them back into the 50-50. Let's have a listen. It's kind of obvious that it's changing and we don't want that. Let's bring it out a little bit more. And so 60, and also maybe draw that in so it's not just a sudden drop with the pencil tool. Yeah, it's a lot smoother. Okay, there are two more things I have in mind for automation on this mix, just to keep things interesting. I'm going to have a look at the lead guitar and we'll do something with the panning there. Now I don't want this to be obvious, but I'm just going to slightly change the panning as it goes along, just to give it a bit of dynamism. So I'm just going to do a little drawn in bit of panning, just moving around the center. I think the front of that could come up a bit as well. In fact, let's bring the vocals down. It's masking the front of that solo. Now, this is obviously not automation, what I'm doing here, but as you go through a mix, you're always going to find things that don't work quite so well together and you have to go back and make changes. So just bring those down a little bit. And bring that up. In fact, I'm going to automate that as well a little bit. I'm going to move that over to the side. It just helps it stand out. Just sounds cool when the lead guitar's coming in. I think we need the guitar up a little bit more in general. And then do the same again with that little drawn in bit of panning. Again, we got the vocals there masking the front of the solo. Again, I'm going to bring this to the left a little bit, bring this one up. I'm going to make that more of a feature at the end where the panning goes off onto one side as the note rings out. A little bit less. And maybe add a fade out so it just kind of fades away nicely into the distance. And makes a little bit of room for the guitars coming back towards the center. Now the last thing I want to do with automation today is have a look at the choruses, what the drums are doing. I'm going to crisp up those cymbals a little bit at the chorus. So I could do this with the EQ, but I'm going to grab this Slate Digital Revival from the virtual mix rack. This is actually free. Well, I believe it's still free at time of recording. It just lets you dial in a little bit of top end or a little bit of low end. It just sounds really nice. So let's have a listen to it, just what it sounds like on the track. Yeah, it just gives it a little bit of shimmer. I can't think of a better word for it, to be honest. So then we're going to key that knob. They don't make that easy, do they? Okay, I think it's A1. Yes. And just for the choruses, I'm going to bring that in. I'm actually going to increase the top end a little bit for the whole mix, but yeah, let's find the choruses. Okay, now I've cut everything up again. Now what I'll do actually is I'm going to just bypass it. It's just a lot easier than moving the knob because we're only doing one thing with this. So generally it's going to be bypassed, so I'll bypass the plugin. And then for the choruses, it's going to come in. Just a brain in a jar. Yeah. Brain in a jar. This makes it a little bit crispier on the choruses to set them out and lift them a little bit. I'm just a brain. So that's everything I want to do with automation for now. There is one more step, and that's just going to be listening to the mix as a whole, going through, making some tweaks, making sure everything's sounding balanced, seeing if we can think of anything else just to add a little bit of excitement across the mix. So if you haven't already subscribed, feel free to do so, and then you'll be notified when that final part comes out. And of course, if you have any questions about automation, how to do it, ideas on what you can use it for in your mix, feel free to just drop a comment below and I'll see if I can help out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in part 7.